Assalamu alaikum. If you're a young Muslim and if you have this urge to travel, you really want to travel, or you haven't traveled but you want to travel more, you should definitely watch this video.
قل سيروا في الأرض فانظروا كيف بدأ الخلق ثم الله
I feel like a lot of cultures and older generations, they really emphasize studying and then working. And then once you're done working, you're gonna get married. And then finally, once you get married, then you could travel. Often forgetting about the little time we have on earth, the lands we should seek to explore, and Allah's creation. Often our minds as youth, our own minds start getting linked to this very same mindset as the older generation. But at the same time, as society changes, we are slowly starting to realize that as much as we should invest in the Akhira, there is also so much beauty in Allah's creation within this dunya, and that exploring it and praising Allah for such beauties is a form of ibadah. Traveling is a new pathway to ibadah where, with the right intention, with the right niyyah, Allah will definitely reward you. And Allah actually says in Surah Ankabut, He says that, O Muhammad, travel throughout the land and see how He originated the creation. Then Allah will bring it into being one more time. Surely Allah is the most capable of everything. One of the first advantages as youth when it comes to traveling is it introduces you to different cultures, personalities, and ways of communication. It makes me think during the time of the Prophet, when the message of Islam was being spread to the corners of the earth, the effort it took to understand language just to spread La ilaha illallah. It makes us realize that Islam itself spread through traveling up mountains, beside gushing rivers and entering fortresses. Traveling young builds that skill early. It teaches you to know how to connect with people rather than speak over them. It teaches a new form of sabr, right? It teaches a new form of patience. When you remain steadfast in trying to understand a new way of communication, the way that people speak, it enables us to represent Islam through understanding, not assumptions. In a world that's more connected than ever, learning how to communicate across cultures isn't optional. It's essential. Traveling as a teen, it enables you to see how big of an ummah we truly are. Sometimes you might see a brother praying in an airport or someone silently praying in a hotel. It brings a sense of joy and ease knowing that as Muslims, we are around the world. The second point that I like to make is that traveling young, it truly humbles you if you leave with the correct intention. When you're away from home, away from this normal routine, away from comfort and control, you realize how small you really are and how much you rely on Allah in every single moment. Missed flights, unfamiliar places, different languages, uncertainty, you don't know what's going on. All of it forces you to place your trust fully and truly in Allah. This brings me to Surah At-Talaq, where it states, and whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out and will provide for him where he does not expect. And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. This is true tawakkul, something books can never teach us. Sometimes learning true tawakkul is truly being tested by Allah, by really living in a situation of uncertainty. When you travel, there may be times where you feel stressed, you don't know what's going on, you feel lost, unsure of a decision, but then you take a step back, you breathe, and you remember Allah. You constantly remind yourself that by trusting Allah, there will always be light at the end of a dark tunnel. You begin to see that Allah is Al-Latif, the most gentle, guiding you through moments you didn't plan, opening doors you didn't expect, protecting you in ways you did not notice at the time. Traveling young builds reliance on Allah early. It shapes your heart to trust Him for the rest of your life. The third point is that traveling, especially as a Muslim when you're young, can positively change your identity before the world does. It gives you this opportunity to hold onto your own reins and steer yourself by your own control. To help you visualize this, when you step out of a society that you have been living in for a very long time, and then you step into a new world where things are totally different, you get to observe new attitudes, you get to observe new behaviors, and sometimes these behaviors can make you critique your own self as a Muslim. Are my current characteristics pleasing Allah? How can I use what I have observed, what I have seen with my very own eyes in this new community, through these people, to better myself? It also enables us to be truly grateful for what we have. Traveling young helps you to discover who you are before the world tells you who you should be. When you're removed from expectations, from labels and constant pressure, you reflect more. When you're by yourself, you reflect more. You pray differently, you think deeper, you question your purpose, you reconnect with your faith in quiet moments, watching the ocean, standing under unfamiliar skies, hearing the adhan echo in a foreign land. As a young Muslim, this matters. It strengthens your identity, so when life gets louder, when there's more careers involved in your life, responsibilities, marriage, you already know where you stand. You kind of carry Islam with confidence, not confusion. So I do want to end this video with traveling as a young Muslim. It isn't about escaping responsibility. It's about learning. It's about learning about life before it gets louder. It's about seeing Allah's signs across the earth and strengthening your faith and returning home with a heart more grateful than ever before. Wherever you go, remember this world is temporary, but every step taken for Allah is never wasted.